Hey. And the bug that makes things, or OBS crash, is back. I didn't really get any time to try and fix it this week. I'll try again. I did find a possible clue to what may be causing it. It may be, at least in part, because my magnification software. Oh well. We'll try to continue playing, and we'll hope that it doesn't happen again, or at least not too many times. And we'll hope that I can make it through reading this dark-colored text on a dark background, which I didn't realize when I planned to stream the game. Actually, this may be one of the games I have a vague memory of starting years ago and seeing that and realizing, I couldn't play it. But of course, with zoom text, it makes it more possible, potentially. Oh yeah, this game has an original soundtrack. That's one cool thing. Omnia? I wonder what retard had broken into my apartment. Just strictly to improve with that graffiti. Someone tells me it isn't red paint. That's Latin and it means the death sets everything right? Yeah, someone broke into our apartment and graffitied the wall with blood. Nice view. The sky is full of toxic shit on the horizon. On the horizon has something poetic about it. When you don't pay for electricity for 3 months, don't expect the electronic devices to work. Right, because we just got out of the insane asylum. It's not exactly comfortable, but at least I don't have to sit on that chair. On the floor. A very limited and uncomfortable bed substitution, but I don't sleep too much anyway. There is a set of keys lying between the mattresses. Okay, so did I get the keys? I slept enough in the night house. Besides, I'm not in the mood for the usual nightmares right now. Oh, there it is. Notepad and keys. Sometimes I use it in a bar to take some notes. Or literary quotes. And I also use it quite often in the bathroom. Oh, that's just our car. An advertisement for some new cyberspace consoles from Wintermute Engine. Quality, speed, stability, low price. Brain connector implant. On the lower edge of the billboard, there is an address of a shop selling WME brand electronics. WME being Wintermute Engine, which was used to make this game. The Nihilist band performs at the Halluzion bar tonight. Wish the text didn't disappear so quickly. The warehouse entrance is locked. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense that those keys would belong to the warehouse. A bar. What can I get you? A piece of info. Info on what? What's your take on Tessa's murder? I guess Tess was our girlfriend. Tess was one of the few people who actually didn't deserve a terrible death like this. On the other hand, I know lots of people who do. Tess has always been unlucky. Right after seeing her walking out with you, I knew there was something wrong with her. Perhaps I wasn't the best thing she got in her life, but you don't have to mess with that right now. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say she had bad luck with people she met in her life. Did you see her hanging out with someone by any chance? Sometimes I saw her together with those crazy friends of hers. But you'll probably find it interesting that she was here with some old guy in a black suit, like the ones vicars wear or something like that. I saw them together once or twice. A vicar. Oops. A vicar. I didn't know there was still some church operating in this city. Can't think of anything right now. I guess I'll get beer in a pint and morphine in a vein. The beer's flowing, but I won't help you with the morph. Try finding Doc Sticks. Perhaps he's got something in stock. Thanks. I've had enough. See ya. Okay, take care. A music synthesizer, the entire orchestra stuffed into a piece of electronics. A poker slot machine. And I can't play without money. A syringe, maybe? Yeah. Hopefully I'll have something to put in it. I don't have to comment on what this is used for. I can only say it's a long time since anyone tried to clean it. Something seems to have flashed in the... What's that? In that dim and smelly water. I'm not going to dig into that shit to find out what it is. Okay, so there's something shining in the toilet. Oh, and here's Doc Sticks. Welcome, traveler. So what's up? The lights are wearing out. The dead are coming back. What? Only the killing can drive away the shadows in your soul. The city is slowly dying, and so are we. I see you've taken too much again. Maybe you should cut down on the chemistry a bit. Let yourself be introduced to the world of the shadows, and you'll understand. I need to feed my veins with some morph. Pay me, and I'll introduce you to the world of the shadows. We've no money, though. Bye, Doc. Find your way. Suppose we can use the syringe to get whatever's in the toilet. These things together. You know, it almost seems like a hint that I'm supposed to use the notepad here, the way they phrased it. Nothing else in the bar, is there? Seems not. We can go to the electronics shop now. Cop? Yeah. Can I disturb you for a minute? Do you have a problem, citizen? Broken window? Oh, there. What about that broken window? That's the reason why I have to stand here for more than 2 hours. Some asshole didn't learn how to back a car, so he parked his truck right into that window. Now I have to stand guard here until the guys from Public Repairs come and install a new security glass. Yeah, this game was originally, I think, in Czech or Russian. The English translation's pretty understandable. Well, I have lots of problems, but you probably wouldn't help me with those. I'm not interested in your personal life, unless it has something to do with breaking the law. Did you ever solve my girlfriend's murder? Or we're going to talk about that? I suppose not. Pile of junk. Disgusting and awful smelling junk. You dug through that mess for a while, but you only found a worn out rubber glove. A wire. Okay. Right. And I'm assuming it's locked. It's funny, like, I know they mean to reference Wintermute Engine, but when I see WME, all I can think of William Morris Endeavor, which is one of the biggest agencies in Hollywood. They, like William Morris was maybe the first agency from like the 1890s or early 1900s. And then in, I think, the 90s, William Morris merged with Endeavor, which was a newer agency that had become really big over the past 10 or 15 years. And so now it's William Morris Endeavor. A lot of people still just call it William Morris. I had to do a report on that my first year in grad school. And I still remember bits and pieces. Okay, the car. Ensign. Hey, Win. How's the living? Well, as usual, which means nothing special. But I'm surprised to see you're still alive. I'd heard you kicked the bucket right after the blue suits dragged you off, so they put you right into the furnace. For some reason, I didn't kick the bucket, so they had to put me in a madhouse instead. Man, that was your girl. That was a major screw-up. Sympathy, Van. If I got my hands on that psycho who did that to her, I'd be making leather car coasters out of him. Are you waiting for someone? Yeah, waiting for a guy with some real fine dope. Quality morphetamine. Corporate product, not just street-made. But I've been hoofing here for at least 2 hours, and he doesn't seem to want to appear. I think I'm going to kick his ass when he does. I could also use some raw material in my veins to improve life. Hey, if you get your hands on some quality stuff, just let me know, okay? I'll do anything for a gram of morph. Well, anything except sex. You know. Okay, Win, I'll keep that in mind. Have you heard anything about Tess's murder? And what exactly do you have in mind? What did the police think about it? The blue suits, they just put Tess into a body bag, questioned a few locals, and sealed her apartment. Then they placed the case into an about a kilometer-wide folder called Unsolved Cases. What else would you expect from guys who get drugged down coffee and donuts every day? I've heard one of those blue brains has been babbling something about ritual murder and some sect. Could be some religious fanatic have done this? Well, if he did, then I'd guess he wasn't Catholic. They're into violence. Just look at that Bible of theirs. Did you see anything suspicious that night? I don't know anything about that. Maybe you should ask Steve about that. He's taking night shifts at the police station as a cleaner. Perhaps he came across some piece of info. Well, I don't know, buddy. I don't know him that well, but he's said to be hanging around a cemetery sometimes because he's also a gravedigger. By the way, I've heard he's also doing some nasty things to his clients, especially young girls. Some like it cold. Okay, necrophilia. Now we're right into the darkness. Oh hey, Keytar Cat. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. We just got to the part where the game's joking about necrophilia after telling us the violent murder of our girlfriend might have been done by a religious sect. And it's still early days yet. But how are you doing tonight? How's your weekend been? How was Tess's funeral? Sad. Just like any other funeral of a beautiful girl. Too bad you couldn't be there. Those doctor bitches did want to let me out. That nightmares were even worse. And where did they bury her body? In that small remote cemetery south of the city. Okay, nothing else. I think we've asked him everything. Okay, gonna disappear into the dark again. Take care, corpse. They talk about death very casually. Oh, you had a picnic with some friends and then with your parents and cleaned out your apartment. Yeah, that does sound like a good day, Keytar Cat. It's good. I've had a pretty busy weekend. I had to do a fair amount of work. I had to essentially pull an all-nighter Monday and then just got, not Monday, Saturday, yesterday, and then just got 3 hours sleep, but it's all wrapped up now. piece of rusty wire. I'm assuming. Just use the glove. Try and get something, possibly a key out of the toilet. I keep trying to right click to use. You wore the glove on your hand, grabbed into the smelly liquid, and retrieved a knife. Some wannabe tough guy must have lost it while trying to empty his bowels. Okay, that's not something I would expect to find in a toilet. Wind outside. I'll probably have to get the morphine from him first. These keys here, didn't I? Yeah. Suppose I could pick the lock. Oh, the cemetery. Right, we haven't been there yet. Is that a dog? Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Maybe I should not go back to the madhouse if I'm starting to talk with dogs. An old vagabond dog. I guess they were trying to say stray. Here rests the body of Tess, whose life has been taken from us by cruel violence. Yeah, poor Tess. Locked. Keys for various locks, including the car. There's also a small but quite efficient flashlight. Hold on, say that again. On the keyring. A present from... I don't know, maybe it's a present from Tess. Doesn't seem to be much else here. Apartment C4. thing. We can't use a computer without electricity. A knife, man's favorite tool, suitable for shortening anything, including someone's life. Wonder if we could try and convince him it's evidence of a crime. Yeah. What? Yeah, there really doesn't seem to be anything else. Any other clues or things to interact with around here. So I guess... Can we get the policeman to tell us where? As what's his name, Wynn mentioned that other guy who's the gravedigger works at the police station as well as, well, the cemetery. Ah, yeah. Do you know a certain Mr. Steep by any chance? Oh yeah, he's cleaning our station in the evenings. Unless, of course, he's boiled by some cheap booze again. And you wouldn't know where to find him, would you? He's probably at the Southern Cemetery. He's working there as a gravedigger, and they brought him a new client today, so he's likely to be digging a grave for her. A young girl, about 20 years old, Ellen something. They found her a week ago in her apartment with her veins cut and without the eyes. What? Oh, no. Yeah, piece of shit. How can anyone do that to such a nice girl? Hope that psychopath is going to burn in hell for that. I'd prefer him burning in the electric chair. Do you know anything more about the murder? I'm not allowed to give such information to the public. Okay. Which was, according to the intro, the same way that Tess died. Veins cut, eyes gouged out, left in the apartment. Yeah, Kitar, this is intense. It's... I mean, I'd read it was a pretty dark game, but... Yeah, I mean... By any standards, this is unusually dark. It's quite a change from the, murder mysteries we were playing last weekend, which... even if it did involve dismemberment, wasn't quite that bad. So I guess it's the same cemetery. Ah. And there he is. Hello. Throw up any skulls that used to belong to the King's Jester? Oh, that's not an option. I see you're about to dig a grave. Wow, you're so smart. Einstein himself. What else do you think I would want with a shovel at the cemetery? Okay, How about some unofficial and illegal exhumation of the recently buried? And why the fuck would I want to do that? What are you trying to suggest, you loser? Nothing. Forget it. Are you steep? Maybe. I've heard you're working at the police station as a cleaner. You must know it pretty well. How? Know people and stuff? What do you want? Well, I need some info regarding the murder of a young girl. Haha, I'm no fucking information stand or press agent. And besides, I've got a feeling it's not exactly legal. And I bet you're not a charity neither. Of course I don't want information for free. I see. Well, I'm no detective, but what? But perhaps I might have something for you. I mean, some info about those dead girls. But my memory seems to be slipping lately. And what amount of money would refresh your memory? Well, let's say $5,000, eh? What? You've got to be kidding. Where the fuck am I supposed to get that money? Do I look like I'm a fucking politician or something? No bargain. $5,000 or nothing. Okay. Bye then. Same to you. Now we've got to get $5,000. Unless... Imagine if we can get the cop way, we can get into the electronics shop and get $5,000 or something worth $5,000. See, you're still taking a shower in the rain. Saying you do anything for morphine. Oh, hold on, there's a customer at the bar. Akko. It's an interesting name. Can I buy you a drink? I'm sorry, but I don't like alcohol. So what are you doing in this joint? Well, I'm waiting here for someone. I see. So I'd better be going. Today I'm in no need of someone. Oh, come on. I'm waiting here for a friend. She's called Anne. She called me in the morning saying she had some troubles, so I agreed to meet her here in this bar, but she hasn't come and I'm beginning to worry. Why the worries? Is there some reason? What problems exactly did you want to talk about? She didn't tell me any details on the phone, just babbling something about shadows, dead people, and salvation. She seems to have troubles with drugs. Do you have any idea where she is now? Where does she live? She's supposed to have an apartment near the railway bridge at the riverbank, but I don't know exactly where. You know what? Wait here and I'll go look for her, okay? Okay, thanks. This is your least favorite future setting. Yeah, Kitar, it's... I mean, at first I wasn't sure if it was future, but I think it's futuristic, like slightly futuristic as opposed to the present. It's kind of hard to tell. I haven't seen anything that really, screams this isn't 2005 or whenever this was made. It does feel cyberpunk. I was kind of thinking that, like, neo-noir, but I was having trouble putting my finger on exactly why. Well, maybe the neon outside, and I don't know. I have to go. See if we can find her apartment. Bridge at the river. Is that a body? Oh wow. On the wet, cold ground lies an even colder body of a young girl. The veins in her hands are cut and her eyes are gouged out. That sick fucking bastard. We examined the body and found an ID in her pants pocket. It's Anne. Well, that makes at least 3 murders. Lots of toxic shit from the factories, several barrels of radioactive waste, and a molecule of water here and there. Yeah, your standard bitter and cynical noir type. Interesting, there's a light on that building. Guess we better go tell Akko. We didn't actually take the ID. Can I bother you for a minute? I'm sorry, but Anne is dead. What? Someone murdered her. I found her body under the bridge. Oh my god, Anne. Who could have done that? It seemed like the bastard has many more lives on his conscience than just Anne. You know something about him? So far I only know that this motherfucker probably killed my girlfriend as well. I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. So she just left. The collector of dead eyes strikes again. What do you mean? While you're standing here guarding this fucking electronics store, some motherfucker killed another innocent girl close by. What? A murder? Where did it happen? That poor girl is lying under the railroad bridge near the riverbank. Maybe you should call to the station so that they send someone with a body bag. That's about the only thing that the police still handle. My radio is broken. Go to the station and report it yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you cops? Every month I'm paying for your fat asses so you can start doing something useful, instead of guarding a fucking shop with some cheap electronics. Alright, I'll check a bridge and then I'll go to the station. Listen, you look like an honest person. Would you guard this shop for a while? Those guys from public repairs will be coming any minute now. Well, okay. No problem, Sheriff. Yeah. Honest. You start digging through things in the window. But the only usable device was a digital camera, which you took. It was usable only in conjunction with something which unfortunately you don't have. Yeah, that's all. You try to figure out what it is that you need with the camera, and then you realize You don't know, but there is a special place in hell for people who use dark text against a dark background just to fuck with anyone that tries to read it. That's the sort of shit that goes on in this dead city. Now, I got the grave dug. Seems Steep already finished his job. Perhaps I should examine the grave a little, but it's very dark here. Flashlight. A miniature flashlight lightened up the darkness of the grave. With a bright light, it revealed a small brass key at the very bottom. Steep must have lost it here while digging the grave. Now it reveals nothing but a hollow and a few molecules of smelly air. I wonder what this weird textured background that the text appears on, if it's supposed to be like stone or something? I don't know. Wait, I got the key. I have suspicions where this is going, and it's not a very pleasant direction. Oh. Key didn't fit. Never mind. These things together, okay. It just says digital camera. So, let's see what that bar's name is. I guess it's Zoe. No. Oh. Oh, Halcyon. Okay, I see. It's weird. The letters are facing different directions, but it's like meant to be read downwards. The good doctor would trade a camera for some morphine. I suppose not. Slot machine. I wonder if I could stick the wire inside it. Nah. The cops took the body. No, doesn't seem to be anything else here. Should probably get a shot of the bloody graffiti. No, I guess not. Doesn't seem to be anything else here. Oh wait, what if the key fits? Electronics shop. No. I did try that there. Give any clue, did it? Wait. There's the flashlight. I think it says just the nothingness of an empty hollow and a few molecules of smelly air. Right. What could we? Yeah, and I don't think there's a walkthrough for this game online, so if I can't figure the puzzle out, well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Tino's Steep. Fill the syringe with water. Wait, is that? No. Just parts of the background. Yeah, the graphics aren't bad in this game. I mean, they're not, super detailed. it. I want to say it was 2005 the game was made, and there weren't that many first-person adventure games then. Like, more the traditional kind of point-and-click third-person ones. Like, there's also around the time Adventure Game Studio was getting big. Just the water. Empty your urinary bladder into the toilet bowl. Urinary bladder. I guess I wonder if that's a more direct translation from Czech. Maybe I should start a career in music industry instead of writing. Is that... Okay, so the character's a writer. Or was at some point. Ask him about key? I did, or tried to. Something about that. The sound in this scene makes me like keep thinking I hear a knock at my bedroom door. It's just saying, yeah, the Nihilist band performs. Oh, at the Hallie's Bar. Hallusion. Sorry, Hallusion. Something like that. I don't know, I got Halcyon. That doesn't exactly fit with the tone of the game. I just must have mythological birds on the brain. Key belonged to Steep. Could the dog use it too? I, 'cause chat with the dog. Have we tried other methods of getting in? Oops, what did I do? You use the knife to remove rust from the wire. I honestly didn't mean to do that. A piece of wire scraped by a knife. What's the significance of that, I wonder? I mean, if it's not rusty, can I use it to, I don't know, connect to the wall for electricity somehow? You already found the keys in the mattress. And there's limited things we can do, limited places we can go. Threatening the doctor, have we? Oh, wait, that's a syringe. Syringe, knife. Is he just going to say? Oh, thank you to whoever followed. I am very sorry. I forgot to bring my Streamlabs alert widget to the front when I installed the new game. Amateur mistake, I know. Oh, that was you hosting. Oh, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. How are you doing tonight? I should make sure. Got these in the right order. There. Yeah, I appreciate the host. Talking about the dead coming back to life, killing, driving away the shadows, the city dying. So the same stuff he said before. Let yourself be introduced to the world of the shadows and you'll understand. Bye, Doc. Find your way. I mean, since I don't know what to do, I may as well try to threaten people. Wait, was there something? I know, it looked like something was on the table there. Is it just a trick of the light? Syringe is empty, right? Oh, a quality door protected by an electronic lock. I should know by now. Always click on things with both buttons and see if you get any more information. Can't use these things together. Some way to disable that lock. But what way? Of the store we would have overlooked. Nope. Cyberspace consoles. Yep, you're right, Keytar Cat. This is definitely cyberpunk. Just try combining stuff in general. Which is sometimes silly, but can lead to stuff. Yeah, try everything on everything. Exactly that. It's like how point and click works. Once things stop making sense, just try everything on everything. Which, oh, that's the only way to advance. It is all one thing, right? These can't use anything. We've already looked through that pile of junk and already found all we could find in there. Moon logic is best logic. Guitar Cat, sometimes I prefer actual logic. It can be satisfying, though, when they're using moon logic, and then afterwards you see, oh, okay, that's how it makes sense. That's how I could have gotten to that. Or in the case of Sam and Max, that's how it doesn't make sense. Plug this in. Oh, right, because there's still no power. Of free and boring public services, including news and entertainment. And of course, yes, without electricity, ho hum. Okay. Time to. You can now update your profile from may actually stream someday if I figure out the logistics to I am now streaming these days. That's an excellent point, Matt. I made that Twitch profile when it was a couple years ago when I signed up, or I don't think I made one then. I think I did afterwards, like maybe sometime last year, like early 2020, when I was still just watching and, vaguely thinking, I should try streaming someday. And now it's like, oh yeah, I've actually been streaming for a while. So thank you, that's a good suggestion. I'll put something a little more accurate in that. Everything with everything. I was going to take stock photos of the dog and sell them to the newspaper. Are vagabond animals in our cemeteries an issue? For some reason the term vagabond dog seems funny. Like, funnier than it should. Fetch boy. Nope. Fetch boy. Oh, hum, I'm getting nowhere fast. Oh, right. Already found the key in there. Now, is there... think washing anything off would be useful. Maybe the water is just there so we can offer humorous observations on it. Using it in bars or literary ideas. Okay. And I also use it quite often in the bathroom. To interact with. I'm pretty sure I tried asking the doctor about the key. Exploring the contents of toilet bowls is not one of my favorite hobbies. Orchestra rolled into one. Wonder where the band is. To talk to Doc Sticks. And he's told us all he can about Tessa's murder. Try to see if actually registering, yeah. We've got to get, I'm just trying to think what we need to get morphine. I assume get morphine from Dr. Sticks and give it to Wynn outside. We need to get into the warehouse and into the sepulchre in the cemetery because there are locked doors, and all locked doors in an adventure game must be opened. It is law. Possible we need to get into the electronics shop, but I'm not sure why. find Steep and get information out of him, and get $5,000 with which to buy the information. I'm sure I already tried all these things. Asking about the key. Oh, I should save my game. Just in case. Possibly not specific enough, but it gets the job done. So one must put in a file name. See if there's some small thing near the computer terminal that I missed. Some hotspot. I can connect the wire to something, but no. Have I tried? After accidentally scraping the wire with a knife, I'm thinking. If I could get a sample of that. If anybody in chat has any ideas, feel free to offer them. I feel like they should have a tag on Twitch that's, they have no spoilers. But I feel like, or maybe they do have a tag that says limited tips allowed. Or maybe they have a tag that says, please dear God, give me tips, I need help. It's all just the broken window. Notice those people from Public Works still haven't come here to repair the window. A dystopia indeed. No, those are the only locations. There's 5. The door's... Oh. An old scrubby door, corroded by mold and acid rain. I tried to pry it open. It's so frustrating. Interesting shadows. I'm trying to see where the light is coming from for some of these. What are you whining about, dog? You're not even worried about the ritual murders. Probably. Because you're a dog. I feel like we've talked to Wynn before. Or we haven't done anything since last time we've talked to him, I should say. The same thing. He thought I was dead, but I was actually in an asylum. Still waiting for his morphine guy. When it all goes wrong, blame the Catholics. Oh, you're dozing off. Well, good night, Kitar. Thanks so much. It's great to see you, and I really appreciate you coming in, and look forward to catching your next stream. I'll be here trying to figure this stuff out. Offering him the syringe would do any use. Yeah. We've already tried damn near everything with him. if all that noise is supposed to be coming from the bar or the warehouse. Death rate only 10%. Assuming we're going to use that camera to take a picture of Steve and blackmail him into telling us what he knows. Hey, guys, I'm not hitting upon anything that could likely work that I haven't already tried, so maybe I will take a moment to try and find a walkthrough for this game. Not sure if I'll find one, but it won't be long. whatsoever. Wait, this is it. Hey guys, so I did in fact find a walkthrough on an Italian site and thanks to the miracles of Google Translate, I was able to decipher it, because I do not speak Italian. And yeah, so I got a hint from it, and I'm ready to uncover more of this wonderful cyberpunk mystery. Turns out I did indeed need something else from the river. Interact with the railing. I should have noticed that. I probably glossed over it several times and just was so close to the water I didn't notice it. An abandoned railing made of rusty metal rods that hasn't worked for years. As you push the railing, one of the rods comes loose and falls at your feet. It might come in handy. Sure, we can use that to pry open the door. I mean, knock on wood. You managed to pry the door open using the rod. It probably would be possible to lock. I mean, it's saying you. I don't know. Yep, that's about what I expected. God, freaking steep. You sick bastard, what are you doing with that dead girl? Why the fuck do you care, you retard? And get out of here. I'd like to have some privacy while playing with this cute Missy here. The police would certainly be interested in your love affairs. If I stopped by the police station with this information. Do you have any proof, asshole? Until some fucking cop decided to come here, this nice little girl is 1 meter underground. You make me sick, you bastard. Yeah, get out of here, you fuck. You pull out the camera and took a picture of the dark secret, with a crypt in the background and a gravedigger abusing a girl's body in the foreground. Hey, what's the deal with that fucking camera? It seems that from now on, anyone at any time can take a detailed look at the shit you're doing in the cemetery. What the? You fucking retard? Give me the camera or what? Or you know what? You wanted some info on the murders, didn't you? Maybe we could discuss that some more if you erase the memory of that camera. Sounds good. I'm listening. I heard one of the cops talking about that. He said that most of the girls were seen with some older man wearing black just before they were murdered. The guy dressed like a priest. Did they find his identity? No, but I think I know who he was. Father Kane. I saw him at the Halusian bar with 2 of the victims. Father Kane, is he a vicar or something? Yeah, something like that. A Catholic. He runs the only church in the city, just northeast from here. From time to time, I'm helping him with church maintenance. That's all I know. Now erase the picture. You erased the camera memory, but a sudden thought flashed through your mind. An incredible hatred and anger filled every molecule of your body. That fucking necrophiliac had also been burying my Tess. That's why I'd been touching Tess. Now he's going to visit her from the shadows. You grabbed the shovel and with a stroke of rage, you hit his head. Unfortunately, the blow was lethal. You panicked, put both bodies in a coffin, and tried to get out of here as fast as possible. Okay, so we've just murdered the necrophiliac gravedigger after getting information out of him. I hope Dracula won't rise out of it. Those crates are full of smuggled booze. Yeah, so after committing murder, we are able to make quips about Dracula. Church, there it is. Remember, the bartender also said he saw Tess talking to somebody who looked like a vicar, and we were surprised that there were any churches operating in the city. Oh. There's a label on the coin box. You can conciliate God by putting a small donation for the renovation of church. And there's a padlock on the coin box. I'm smelling an awful stench of death surrounding you. What are you? Are you a demon or just his minion? Although I don't know exactly who I am, you seem to be a complete jackass, but I don't care. I just want to ask. Shut up, you worm. Your thoughts are giving away much more than your inflexible tongue. I'm going to ask God to save your soul, but I hope he won't forgive you. It was like you are guilty for how the world looks now. The city is the city of sin and atheists, and God punished us for that. How did he punish us? What the fuck are you talking about? He sent a demon of shadow and night to this city, cursing it forever. Cursing it? What bullshit. The time and space is collapsing. Slaves of technology wrapped an entire world in optical fibers, choking it. My own brother is screaming his binary formulas somewhere in the underground. For money and fame, he works for a corporation who controlled the city. He is my shame and my punishment. Thanks to him, the world of shadows is invading our world, and the demons of night will soon occupy the city of the sin, and I'm the only one who knows how to atone to God and to sate the wrath of the demon of the shadow. Now be gone and stop infesting this holy place with your stench of death. God, it's like half the people in this city are kind of crazy. You wait until Father Kane moves the other end of the church and insert the key into the padlock on the coin box. The key unlocks the padlock easily, and you gain the incredible wealth of a few small coins. It seems that Mr. Steep comes for spiritual guidance and a financial loan. Well, he did before we bashed his brains in with a shovel. We could play a round of poker. I hope it's not a mini game because I don't know how to play poker. I know it has to do with calls and tells and straights and flushes and full houses and folding. Like, I guess you fold the cards up when you're done. You insert several coins, but somehow you don't even hope you'll win. Nevertheless, the luck is momentarily on your side, and the machine spits out a small prize. Money. Hopefully enough for a syringe full of morphine. 200 for 2 grams of hard dope? Could be. Just don't get lost in the land of the shadows. Do you always have to talk like a drugged out fool? It's a good time to save as any. kind of like how they have the pen scrawling it like on paper sound when you save your game. They just offer it to him. Something for you to improve the mood. A morphin sticks. This will make you fly to the edge of the galaxy. No shit, give it to me. You draw off half the morphine in a bag to Benson. You're lucky to have something to feed his veins with again. He's quite happy with himself, and he realized, in a nanosecond, he realizes you want something in return. Oh, just what do you want for it? Well, I'd like to use a little of your experience from your main job. What? Are you sure you would like it with me? I thought you were preferring women, but I was thinking more of your apartment robbing experience. Oh, I see. Yeah, sure, no problemo. Yeah, I was just kidding before, man. Sure, I'm after this warehouse door across the street. There's an electronic lock, but it shouldn't be a problem for you, right? Fine, just give me a few minutes. But I think it's a waste of time. That warehouse belongs to some energetic company, and you won't find anything interesting there but wires and rats. Bendazone left his spot, unlocked the door across the street. After a few minutes of toying with some suspicious-looking gear or device, he opened the warehouse door. Then he disappeared within the shadows of the street. Within the shadows of the street. Makes it sound more ominous that way. Anyway, yay, new location. Locked crates. What's that? Crates are all the same. Oh. Need a key, a code. You tried some keys, but the panel doesn't seem to be functioning. It's attached by several screws. We unscrew the cover using our knife. That actually works sometimes. Assuming our now cleaned wire goes here somewhere. Is there nothing to click in there? The fuse is burned. Oops. What am I thinking? That startled me. You use the wire to short circuit the fuse and basically make the keypad work. But what code am I supposed to use? A good question indeed. assuming, yeah. Could we open the door with this? No. Well, worked once. He would know about the warehouse. Father Cain said his brother worked in some form of electronics. I'm smelling an awful stench of death surrounding you. What are you? Are you a demon or just his minion? Yeah. Saying the same things. Father, I have no idea what you're talking about. Local Father Cain, local guard of the false morals. The crates in the cemetery were the same as ones from the warehouse and could yield some clues. Oh, still hear the dog. Oh, those are more crates. They're so faint, maybe it's just they're supposed to look like they're behind the light. Surprisingly bright. See. No. But this feeling is soon replaced by total physical and mental exhaustion, and you feel a strong urge to lie down for a moment and relax your tired muscles. Maybe I should go home and get some sleep. Yeah, I guess so. You just... No, So I injected the morphine. You can feel the hunger within, or a surge of heat. And after a while you begin to feel good again. You feel deadly tired, your head is spinning, and you hear something like dark, inaudible voices talking to you from the distance. You fall down on the bed and immediately afterwards fall into the darkness of unconsciousness. Oh God. Elysion? Welcome back, lost soul. Back, what do you mean? Oh no, your memory seems to have stayed here after you left. I should have predicted that. My mistake. This is a pretty moronic illusion. I probably took too much morphine. Your conclusions are wrong. I am Elysion, one of the shadows. Not so long ago I released you from the world of shadows so that you could seek an answer. What is the world of shadows, and what answer? You really don't remember your own death, your anger and hatred, your sadness and despair, your love and my wish? What do you want from me? Trillions of worlds are collapsing into one point and threaten to destroy everything. Something is one of the realities starting to disturb the order of the space, and it's beginning to disappear into the depth of chaos. And that something is my reality? I've got a weird feeling that chaos started in my own head. Somehow I still don't understand your implications. When you came here that night, there was still something binding you to the reality you were born into. It was your desire, the desire to revenge the death of your love, that made your transition back to your old reality much easier, and I took advantage of it. I asked you to find out the reason why the chaos is disturbing the space order, and I helped you return from the world of the shadows. In other words, I'm going nuts again. Once I wake up from this trip, I'm going back to the madhouse. You must believe, please. The only way for you not to lose your memories on your return. Now go back and seek the answer. We are short of time. Now go, go, go! Now I guess it's the next day, and I'm back from my world of nightmares and shadows. Where am I going? About the priest, it seems. I still haven't fixed it. Wonder how long we were asleep for. Maybe not that long. Nothing here. Oh. Is that Tessa's ghost? Tess. It's so cold here and empty. Tess, that's me, do you hear me? My love, is that you? Yes, Tess, what is this supposed to mean? You're dead. Your voice, I recognize you, but all I can see is the depth of chaos surrounding me. Where am I? Why did she send me here? She told me she'd return me back. I don't understand you, Tess. Who sent you, and why? I have to find an answer. Then I'll be able to stay here, to stay with you, but something is wrong. I'm so cold. My love, help me, please. But I don't know how. Find the answer. It's hidden beneath this horrible city, protected by numbers. Numbers? What numbers? The death sets everything right, my love. That's the key to the answer. Don't leave, Tess. Tess. Death sets everything right. I think the Dr. Styx. I know Dr. Styx said something like that. What numbers? Use our flashlight? No. Hi, mongrel. Hidden below this city. The priest said something about his brother working below the city on computers, shouting out binary. Same thing. My own brother is screaming his binary formulas somewhere in the underground. Is there? Tess was giving us a hint to the code, but not enough to figure it out. Was there something on that crate? Yeah, I thought it might have been a label or something. I wonder if that's a check for illusion or hallucination. Perhaps it's a made-up word that's a portmanteau of the two. Not an exact portmanteau. Useful tip stuck. Dead or coming back. Only the killing sun can drive away the shadows in your soul. He seems to know something about everything that's going down. That Spirit Elysion. have some morphine left, it seems. More. That. Oh, I guess that's another word. Kind of weird we can't ask him about anything, huh? I mean, I guess all he knew was about Tess the night she died. Let's take another look at that graffiti. Latin, it means death sets everything right. What does it have to do with numbers? That it's a combination for some entry code? The only thing that comes to my mind is the number of letters in each of the words, so maybe 546? I better write that down on my notepad. Five, 4, 6. Okay. Bit of a jump in logic there, but it's nice of the game to do that for us. Yeah, I mean, at least we've had the hunch that it could have to do with that. Perhaps we wrote that in blood after coming back to life. You entered the code written on your notepad. Somewhere down there you can hear the sound of an elevator coming up. Oh, another hallucination? Perhaps I should cut down on Styx's chemistry. Alex Kane. Kane. What are you doing? And what the hell are you doing here? I'm seeking an answer. An answer to what? You'd better get out of here quickly. What's going on here? And what's going on in this entire city? The city is dead. Everything in the radius of 200 kilometers is as good as dead. Are you drugged down or what? It's not my fault. I built the fucking experimental fusion reactor. There was an accident, but instead of exploding and destroying the entire city, time and space collapsed. Everything is different now. Everything is fucked up. So switch that fucking crap off. And what do you think I've been trying to do for several months now? If only my brother wasn't such a retard. Your brother? You mean that fanatical vicar? Yeah, that Catholic, ignorant. The asshole thinks it's God's punishment for our sins, but let me tell you what, he's the worst motherfucker in the city. He read somewhere about rituals to atone for the demons of the night, and now he's wandering at nights, murdering young innocent girls. Their dead eyes are supposed to scare the shadows of death away. Okay, that fucking bastard. And he was even insolent enough to steal my disk with my research on it. Without that, I'm unable to destroy the reactor, and the anomaly around the city is becoming stronger. Oh, how much I hate that fucker. Why'd you let him continue with the murdering? Fuck him. He's dead anyway. Everyone's dead. Once I turn the reactor off, the entire city will blow, including that religious fanatic. The anomaly will disappear, and the rest of the world will be safe. You can't possibly imagine what mess the anomaly must be causing in the very essence of time and space. I'll try to get you that disc. Hopefully, the notes will help you. Okay, this is plot is taking a couple of significant twists here. Definitely not what I expected. Reactor. A weird device which probably also causes the hallucinatory effect in this room. At least I hope it's just a harmless side effect. Oh, right, making the doctor look so weird and everything. Kind of blurry. Yeah, this game seems... Is this game anti-Catholic? Maybe they keep calling the Catholic priest a vicar. Oops, that's how it is in the future. You fucking sadistic murderer. What on earth are you walking corpse talking about? You killed them. All those innocent girls were murdered by you. Where did the cruelty come from? Their deaths will serve to the good. It will help to save the entire city, the entire world. I have chosen them carefully to match the prophecies in the Book of the Dead. Their death was needless. Nothing will redeem the world. The more they were suffering for your false morals and a pointless whim of your God, how can you be so blind? Hold your tongue at once, demon. No, I won't. One of your victims was my Tess. She has been suffering all her life, and she had to suffer when she left this world by your hand. But the demons of the shadows are coming. There are no demons of the shadows. Those are just projections of people from alternate realities, unwillingly intervening due to a time and space collapse. Are you just a fool like my cursed brother, or do you belong to them? You belong to the demons of the shadows, I know that, but here in this world you are as vulnerable as we mortals. We shall see. A long sharp knife flashes in Kane's hand. Kane attacks you quickly. You dodge the attack, but the blade painfully scratches your arm, leaving a bloody gash. You draw your knife and attack him as well. Your attack, supported by the waves of adrenaline, anger, and rage, is more than enough. You hit Kane straight in the heart. Now off you go to the world of the shadows and pray that I do not find you. You examine the body. You found a disc with Alex's notes in his left pocket. Yeah, remember when I said this game was dark? Interesting, they spelled it with a K in the dialogue. Maybe it was originally supposed to be a floppy disk. Here's the disk. Now turn that fucking reactor off ASAP. You don't know how much you've helped me. Now turning off the reactor should take a matter of hours. I'm glad I could have helped. To you and to me. What are you doing? And what the hell are you doing here? I'm seeking an answer. An answer to what? You better get out of here, quickly. What's going on here? What's going on in this entire city? Oh. It's just the same dialogue from before. So where do we go? As you came out of the street, the rain felt like it washed some of the shadows from your soul. It left only this total physical and mental exhaustion. The only thing you want to do is to get some sleep. You feel deeply tired, your head is spinning, and you hear something like inaudible voices talking to you from the distance. So you lie down on your bed and immediately after drift into the darkness of unconsciousness. And there's Elysion again. Welcome back. I've got an answer for you. No need for words. By reading your mind, I know thanks to you the chaos and spreading is going to be stopped soon. I want one answer too. My Tess is roaming in my reality. Also returned half of the worlds. How can I help her to return to the other world? Poor Tess, she is one of those I sent to seek the answers in the dead city. Her desire to see you again was immense, but the transition failed a bit more than in your case. Her body and mind drowned in the gap in time and space. Nevertheless, she moves around the anomaly of the dead city. Help her complete her journey. Will she return back to the world of shadows as I did? You already belong to the world of shadows, but she does not. She will find peace in another reality, and her memories will be swallowed by nothingness. It will be better for her. And now leave. Get ready for your journey to our world. Go to die. I woke up surrounded by bright white walls and a grilled window. I was back in the madhouse, unable to remember why and how I got back in here. If I ever left, it all might have been just one mad, hazy hallucination. Perhaps it was just a dream. Perhaps the reality is even worse. Perhaps. But perhaps, in the next nanosecond, 1 trillion hot suns will light up and end my misery once and for all. I'm waiting. Wow. Okay, well, I guess that's the end. I'll switch and we'll wrap up. Well, thank you guys for coming by. That was a rather interesting game. The ending felt a little abrupt with all the kind of twists there, and pretty bleak no matter what, but yeah, it left it open-ended as to what's real, I guess. But it was definitely a trip, and sorry I took so long to beat it because I didn't notice the railing could be clicked on. But other than that, it's all like pretty straightforward. The puzzles. Yeah. I wouldn't say it was a great game, but it had a lot of personality, and I think it was fun to play through and to try and figure out that story. I know I said we might play more of Soldier of Fortune after that, but that did take longer than I intended, and it is fairly late. Very late, in fact. Well, let's go ahead and I'll see who's online, see if there's someone we perhaps can raid. Oh wow, Artyom Havoc is still alive. He's the guy who put together a Save and Raid, that huge fundraising event involving Doom to raise money for suicide awareness, and as part of that, because they raised so much money, he had to do a stream where he kind of wrangled and arranged all his cables, and Since he had such a big setup, it's taken him hours. So let's go ahead and give him a raid. I think that would be nice. He's a really cool guy. Make sure he's still. Oh, he's hosting someone. Why did it show him online? Oh, he got offline in the last 30 seconds. Good thing I checked. Let me see, we could try and find someone new to raid. Oh, here's a... You could raid Fractal Mind Mike. I've watched his stream a few times. He also plays interesting retro games. I know he was playing Cannon Fodder the other day, and... Okay, I think he's just starting a stream. I don't know what he'll be playing, but yeah, let's go ahead and raid him. And yeah, so just to wrap up, thank you guys, everybody who came in and said hello or stuck around and watched that extremely strange ending. I'm Purblind Gamer, a variety/retro streamer with an interest in horror, and I stream Wednesdays, Sundays, and usually in the evenings, and sometimes Saturday afternoon/evening for Short Horror Saturday, which I missed yesterday, and I'll try and do a makeup stream sometime in the next couple days, stream a couple of short horror games. On Wednesday, we'll be streaming Sam and Max Hit the Road, which is absolutely hilarious, and we might finish it on Wednesday. I think there's a fair chance. And then, I don't know, next Sunday we'll probably start another longer game, maybe another adventure game, or... I'm not sure. There are plenty of games to play out there. But, yeah. Thank you guys again for coming by, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good night.